It's really much simpler than I thought to be able to go out and share the gospel with people and defend my faith. And I don't have to be relying on my own strength. I have the power of Christ, and He rose from the dead, so obviously that's a lot of power.
So we hear these kind of things, or we talk about the mission of Christ, maybe we feel some of this pressure.
I came to Immersion because I'm on the speech and debate team, and all of my teammates are atheists. So as soon as they found out that I was Christian, they just started berating me with questions. And it was very respectful, but it was challenging. I didn't know hardly any of the answers, and so I felt really in a spiritual low place, and I was doubting God's existence. I was doubting everything about myself.
So this whole camp, man, is meant to help us tear down the lies.
I came to Immersion because I'm going into college next year, and I just really wanted to be just more confident and more prepared to be able to know what I believe and know why I believe it and be able to give a defense for why I believe what I believe.
There's so many different things, like looking at statistics of college students who leave the faith or leave the church. I didn't want to be just a statistic. I wanted to stand for faith and for what was right and what was true. But I just needed more knowledge, and I needed something like Immersion that would push me to keep fighting for my faith.
What does an explanation do? It explains what needs to be explained.
This immersion has completely, radically changed the way I analyze and think things. They don't teach you what to think, they teach you how to think. And I think that's really cool about what immersion is.
We have sessions about 3 or 4 times a day, depending on the day if we're going to leave campus. It's not as often. We are talking about things that some of it I've never heard before, just really prevalent cultural issues.
Some of those topics are like abortion, same-sex marriage, the Trinity, things like that. And some of them are extremely controversial, but I think that it's really important because these are the things that the opponents of our faith will hit on, because it's probably most Christians' weakest subjects. And so because of that, if we're really informed about the knowledge of those topics, I feel like we can spread our faith even further.
In the lectures, that's one of the biggest ways to go and ask questions. But then what I think is most important for me is sometimes when I'm not able to think of these questions in the big groups, I'm hearing the questions of other people, and that spawns off my questions and just branching off. And then we can go off into our small groups later at night. We can just take our questions, field them to each other, and if we don't know, then hey, there's resources here, there's other people I can connect you with. They want you to ask questions here, and it's amazing.
My small group has been amazing. My leader is Creed, and he's been answering a lot of the questions, and the talks have answered a lot of my questions, which was fantastic, and I feel 100 times better about the intellectual questions now, which is great.
Beyond the intellectual part of the Christian life, I've learned so much fellowship.
Coming here, I was really nervous to make friends because I'm not very open, I'm not very social. And I've had really bad friend problems, but that all vanished the moment we left the airport. The moment we went into the van to come onto campus, I felt like I've already bonded with so many people.
I have so many similarities with other people. I'm I thought that was my problem and nobody else had that issue. And it's such a community and it's such a blast, and you get not very much sleep, but it's awesome anyways.
The biggest surprise that I've experienced at Immersion that I definitely wasn't expecting was the type of family that I would receive, and I wasn't expecting the type of support and affection, especially affection and embrace from the staff that I've received here from everyone.
If you would have asked me to go share my faith with someone before Immersion, I would have been terrified, and I would not have known where to start.
Before I came here, I learned about apologetics a little bit, but I think it's so important to learn about different religions and how to better minister to those around us.
I would say I'm pretty confident in talking to people, beginning the conversation of Christianity, but keeping the conversation going is where I normally struggled, and I didn't know really how to continue, especially when people asked me the tough questions. And so being at Immersion has helped me just be able to answer those tough questions and be able to continue the conversation farther than I ever would have thought.
Before coming to Immersion, I did not really feel equipped to be able to give a defense for my faith and really personally know why I believe it. Immersion has just really impacted me in the way that I feel confident to be able to share my faith.
If you want to know why Christianity is true, if you want to grow in your confidence in your conversations with other people who believe differently than you, and if you want to be a part of a community that loves Jesus and wants to grow in their faith, then come to Impact 360 Immersion.
As we were called to come here, he also calls us home. And as I said before, we're taking all these relationships with us, and I have mentors and accountability partners that I'm confident in saying that they will last me a lifetime.